WOCA.
A humid day today with intervals of clouds and sunshine, high getting up to 88. For tonight, becoming partly cloudy and remaining humid, a low tonight of 73. For tomorrow, periods of rain and a thunderstorm during the day Thursday with a high 90, patchy clouds at night, low 72. Friday, sunny clouds with a shower or thunderstorm, high 89. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
WOCA. Ocala.
That sound. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source. Now time for Veterans News as we have Hank and Gary on to present to you Veterans News right here at The Source. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Got a lot of guests in here today. We got Judge Angelinus, who is from Hernando County. He's a circuit judge, and he's going to get on and talk about Veterans Court a little bit, which he runs down there. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Jinky's here. Everybody knows Jinky with Caliber Home Loans and Vets Helping Vets. And then Stevie Lawrence, who is a veteran from the Iraq conflict, and who is still looking for a daddy. He thinks everybody in the room is his daddy, but we're denying it. But anyway, got a crowded office this morning. Gary, if you would, I know we have, unfortunately, 3 casualties we're going to read out this morning.
Yes, we do. Starting with law enforcement, we have Officer C.K. Yan with the United States Department of Homeland Security, Customs and Border Patrol, operations of field office. His end of watch was May the 16th. Unfortunately, Officer Yan succumbed to the COVID-19 virus. And then we have Trooper George Baker of the Louisiana State Police. His end of watch was May 24th. Trooper Baker was a United States Marine Corps veteran. And we have an Army casualty, First Lieutenant Travaris Rayvon Bowman, who was 25 years old from Spartanburg, South Carolina. He died on May 29th at near Bagram Air Force Base in Afghanistan. And we also want to mention today we passed the 100,000 mark of deaths from the COVID virus. So our thoughts and our prayers go out to the families of these officers and this soldier, and also to those families that lost people due to this virus. Adam?
Okay, Adam, that's it.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now
Okay, thanks, Adam. Appreciate you doing that. So today, we have a special guest, Judge Angelinas.
Good morning.
It is a good morning. Can you hear him all right, Adam?
Yeah, yes, just maybe just a little bit more volume.
Good morning.
There we go. Good.
You can hear him good? Okay. We'll get him a little closer to the phone. So the judge here he's a circuit judge. His office is in Hernando. He runs the Veterans Treatment Court down in Hernando County. Wanted him to come on, talk a little bit about what he does and how the court works. You know, it's one of our favorite programs. We have one here in Marion County, and it's been very, very successful, and I'm sure it's been successful down there, but I thought the judge could kind of fill in the gaps and tell us a little bit about what's happening down there and what's particularly unique about it. So if you would, Judge, I appreciate it.
Sure. I've been handling the Veterans Treatment Court since January of 2019, so about a year and a half now. We have about between 20 and 30 in our program at all times. And as you know, the Veterans Treatment Court was founded by Judge Holmes up in Buffalo back in 2008. And since then, it's gained a lot of momentum, a lot of traction across the country. And the Florida legislature has passed some laws which require every county to have a Veterans Treatment Court. And we've been very successful. You know, of course, the goal is to attempt to connect our veterans with services that they desperately need, whether it's because of some sort of PTSD, traumatic brain injury, military sexual assault, those types of things that cause this, any type of problems, mental health problems, which ultimately lead to the judicial system through some sort of criminal offense. And we do our best to try to connect them to services. We have a VJO, a Veterans Justice Outreach Coordinator, who is usually someone who has been in the service and affiliated with the VA. And we try to connect them to services. We try to connect them to mentors. We try to connect them to an individualized case plan so that we are treating them individually. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. Everything is done on an individual basis. So we try to get them the help they need, and also the camaraderie, I think, by having fellow veterans assisting them is very important in the recovery process. And ultimately, the benefit is, the long-term benefit is hopefully a reduction in recidivism, and maybe reconnecting to some folks and some other service members who can help them long-term. And of course, the charges ultimately, if they successfully complete the program, the charges are dismissed. It's a post-adjudicatory program. It's supposed to be a non-adversarial program, but we're very proud of it. We think we have some great results, and we're doing it all over our circuit. Our circuit covers Hernando, Citrus, Sumter, Marion, and Lake County. That's the 5th Circuit. I'm a circuit judge in the 5th Circuit, so technically I have jurisdiction in all 5 of the counties.
But the actual court is in Hernando and Brooksville that you...
My actual court that my courtroom is located in Brooksville, Florida. Technically, I could have jurisdiction in any of the 5 counties if the chief judge saw fit to move me or transfer me to another county. Okay. He is able to do that. But my courtroom is in Brooksville, but we have a Veterans Treatment Court in all 5 counties of our circuit, I'm happy to say.
Yeah, and most of them I've heard really positive things about. And I was talking to Judge Brigham not too long ago about one of the courts, and so things are going well. There's always a little tweaking going on, but good. How did you volunteer for this, or are you selected?
Well, every year or two, the chief judge comes out with assignments. I got my position. I was appointed by Governor Scott back in 2018. So when that happened, we had a judge that retired. So it kind of shifted some of the responsibilities that the other judges were doing, and this position became available, and I asked to be a part of it because, prior to becoming a judge, I was in private practice for 18 years. I was an assistant state attorney 4 years before that, so I've been in practice as an attorney for 22 years before being appointed to the bench. So I was familiar with Veterans Court and Drug Treatment Court, and I wanted to be a part of it.
Very good. Do you have a veteran connection in your family or that sort of thing?
Yeah, my dad is a Navy veteran. My uncle is an Air Force veteran. I have another uncle who's an Army veteran. My plan initially after law school was to, try to become a JAG officer, but I was diagnosed with some eye problems and had to have a cornea transplant in each eye, so they told me I probably wouldn't make it through the assessment process.
And you have a lot of veteran friends, too.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a good thing, so. Hey, Adam, do you need to take a break now?
Yeah, it's just about time for a break, gentlemen. WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Vets helping vets. Veterans News. We'll be back right after this. Stay tuned.
WOCA. Hey, this is Matt from Crossroad Auto Sales. I want to invite you to come over and check out our vehicles. All of our vehicles at Crossroad Auto Sales go through a rigorous 100-point safety inspection. We work with most outside finance companies, and we even have in-house financing available. Stop by today at 1800 Northwest 10th Street or give me a call at 690-6695. That's 690-6695. Crossroad Auto Sales. We won't leave you stranded at the crossroad.
Hey, look around Ocala. The crepe myrtles are blooming in all their glory. Many of them came from Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala, and that's why you should come on down and make your selection now. Bob has more colors than you can imagine, including some of those eye-catching exotics. And they're priced as low as $24.99. And get this, in the larger 8 to 10 foot size, you buy one and you get one free, delivered, planted, and guaranteed. And check out this BOGO, a special selection of viburnum and ligustrum. They're on BOGO, buy one, get one free. Bob has spring veggies, still just $3.49 in the jumbo 4-pack. And he has a huge selection of sweet-smelling frost-proof gardenias, just $3.99. Bob's open daily at 9, so shop early and beat the crowd. Bob Wine's Camellia Garden, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
On this episode of What Not to Do, brought to you by
Mike's Got Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Holy what have you done in my kitchen?
Oh, honey, how is it? I never know when she's coming home.
What are all these pipes laying around? Why is my dishwasher in the living room, and why is the carpet all wet?
Well, remember that fancy new kitchen remodel you've always wanted?
Oh, I do, and this is not it.
But I thought I might save some money by doing it myself.
You thought wrong. I promise this is going to cost you way more. You should have called in the professionals at Mike's Got Plumbing, because I'm pretty sure when I flush the toilet, water is not supposed to come out of the sink.
Noticed that, did you?
The next thing I'm going to notice is you calling Mike's Got Plumbing like you should have done in the first place.
Yes, dear. 866-314-4443.
Yes, 866-314-4443.
That played out so differently in my head.
on next week's episode of What Not to Do.
No, not monkeys.
WOCA.
A humid day today with intervals of clouds and sunshine, high getting up to 88. For tonight, becoming partly cloudy and remaining humid, a low tonight of 73. For tomorrow, periods of rain and a thunderstorm during the day Thursday with a high 90, patchy clouds at night, low 72. Friday, sunny clouds with a shower or thunderstorm, high 89. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, as we're in Veterans News, as we got Hank and Gary on. Take it away, gentlemen.
Yeah, we're back again. Got the judge here, and we're going to be doing this again. We're doing it this morning, just kind of give you a little taste of it, because it's an important program for veterans. It's in all the counties in the circuit, and, you know, they're in need of mentors, and they're in need of a lot of things. It's a very successful program, really important to the veteran community. So we'll probably do an hour show in the not-too-distant future with some additional people and kind of inform you folks out there what's going on and how your taxpayers' dollars are spent. And by the way, this thing saves the taxpayers a lot of money. Because otherwise these people would be in jail, for relatively minor things, costing the taxpayers a lot more money to service than they do now. So in addition to that, I think some of these veterans just made a poor choice and really have made a mistake, which they're sorry for. I'm sure the success rate in Hernando County is just as successful as it is every place. But I'll ask the judge. So, Judge, where are we? How successful are you?
Well, to go to your first point first, as far as one of the measurements that we use to gauge the success of the program or the ability to get additional funding is the amount of money we save the taxpayers. And the way we measure that is days in jail that are avoided for the taxpayers, because it costs money to house somebody in the jail. And in Hernando County, I'm not sure what it is here in Marion County, but in Hernando County, that's about $63 a day. So we diverted, several thousand days for the taxpayers as far as jail is concerned for these folks. Like you said, a lot of them are minor offenses, maybe some drug offenses, things like that. And, for all of our programs, not just Veterans Court, but for our drug court program and our mental health program, we diverted about $1.5 million in 2019, which, amounts to a lot of taxpayer dollars. So that's one of the ways we gauge and measure the savings to the community. Obviously, you can't put a price on getting someone to recover, but our success numbers in our Veterans Court program are probably in that 70% range. The recidivism rate is probably about 50%, depending on the county, depending on the individual, of course. But that's like a national average. That's not necessarily a Hernando County average. So it's a successful program. A lot of these folks come to us from obviously the criminal justice system because of some sort of alcoholism or drug abuse problem. Those seem to be the main areas, and that's because of usually the PTSD or some sort of traumatic brain injury that occurred for our combat veterans. And we take, a question was asked during the break, we do take non-combat veterans as well. The legislature has changed the law to make sure that we are inclusive of all veterans, not just combat veterans. One of the tools that we use and that I've been using lately that I've found very helpful is journaling. And I have the veterans, if they need some extra attention or some extra help, start journaling. I don't want to see the journal. I don't ask them to share it with me, but to share it with their counselors. And one of the individuals, one of the participants, sent me a letter not too long ago, and he sent it to me for reading purposes to understand why the program was important to him. And he was a combat veteran, and he served in Iraq. And we asked him to identify their triggers, and one of his triggers, one of the reasons for his PTSD was an incident that happened to him out in Iraq. He was commanding a troop, and they found a young child with a device strapped to them, and they tried to get verbal commands to stop, and they weren't sure if it was any type of explosive device, but they ultimately ended up having to kill that child, and then it was an explosive device. And so, they had to detonate the device. So, all this happened in front of his eyes, and those traumas are real, and they occur on a daily basis, and this is what causes a lot of these PTSD issues that these folks suffer from, and we're trying to get help and trying to get them connected to the right services.
Okay. Well, and again, we found the same thing. A lot of these men and women, and people think
Absolutely.
It's just men, but I'm sure you have some females in the court as well.
Yes, sir.
How many do you have?
It runs. It's obviously a lot lower percentage as opposed to the men, but we have a couple here and there that come into the program and make it through.
Yeah, one of the things we've seen here, Judge, is when we first started, I saw very few females, but now we see a really significant number, about 15%, Gary, somewhere around that, seeking help of one kind or the other, which tells you what's happening is there are a lot more females serving, and there are a lot more females now in combat situations, which didn't exist when I was in the Marine Corps. there were no females in combat situations, maybe a nurse, but other than that, you didn't see them. But now it's a changed world, so I'm sure you're going to see an increase in that.
I think one of our biggest challenges is identifying folks who may be eligible for this program and maybe don't realize that it is available to them. So we try to spread the word as best we can to let veterans know that this program is available. And that one of the things that our VJO does is once they come in, they get them connected back with the VA if they haven't been connected in a while, and they let them know what kind of benefits, what kind of services are available to them. One of the other challenges we have is getting mentors. We have a mentor assigned to each participant in the program, and that mentor is there if they need someone to talk to in the middle of the night, or if they're having a trigger that may result to some sort of self-harm or drug abuse or alcoholism issue. They can call their mentor and connect with somebody who is a veteran who can explain things to them and then get them the help they need in that emergency situation. So mentors are very, very important to our program. They're the lifeblood. And we have, if there's anyone listening who knows someone in Hernando County who might be a good candidate to be a mentor, they can contact one of our coordinators. Her name is Amy Baldwin, and her number is 813-714-2853.
You might want to do that again because people never write as fast as you talk.
Yeah, it's 813-714-2853. And her name is Amy, and she's great, and she's very helpful with our mentors and trying to get them trained and everything else.
How do you get them now? Do you reach out to the American Legion,
the
VFW, and all of those sort of close and chapters?
We have a good relationship with our disabled veterans groups and our other, American Legion and things like that, and we make the call out as often as we can to try to get folks interested in the program. And we've had a pretty good response, but we can always use new mentors and fresh blood. And, we give them training and, they come and participate and watch in court for a little while before they, jump in and get their own mentee.
When do you have court? When do you have Veterans Treatment Court?
Usually on Thursdays.
Thursdays.
With this COVID situation, a lot of the other courts are have not been able to function as well as we have. But we thought it was important right away to get, even if we couldn't have them come in one-on-one in person, to have them show up on the video. Because the big thing about Veterans Court is structure. We've been finding that a lot of these participants maybe haven't had a lot of structure in their lives since they left the military. And having that structure, being able to see the judge, being able to see the mentors, being able to see the VJO, the court personnel, assists, I think, in their recovery because it provides that structure that I think that maybe they've been lacking and needing for a long time.
Very good. Well, as I say, it's been here in Marion County, it's been extremely successful. Judge McCune ran it for years, and of course now Eddie Scott is running it.
Yes, sir.
It's a great program. The veterans really support it. I haven't met any veteran who doesn't. But getting the right type of mentors has always been an issue, going after them, because it is a demanding sort of situation and it can be frustrating.
Right.
And what we try to do here, and I'm sure Gary, who was a mentor, is you want them to regain some of that pride and dignity that they had when they were in the service, and see if they can't tap into that too as a resource that will help them with some of their current issues.
Sure.
It's important, and I'm glad you showed up today. I recall you reached out a little bit.
There's that sense of belonging to something again, too.
Well, and the camaraderie and
Right.
belonging and the structure is important. You're right. You hit it right on the head. The structure and the camaraderie and the talking to other folks who sort of walk that walk and understand what you're talking about is important. Not that you're going to necessarily be easy on them, because
Right.
I find veterans tend to be a little demanding. And Gary was a mentor for a long time. How many years were you a mentor, Gary?
About 4.5 years.
Anything stand out to you that?
Yeah, attack. We used to use me personally, try to get that boot camp mentality back to get through a tough situation. If you got through boot camp, you could get through anything. That's what I always stress to my mentees.
Or combat situation. If you've been in combat, everything else should be downhill. But we all suffer from different memories and things that happen to us. So I'm glad the state is doing that, and I know we've restructured things, and it's getting a little bit more formal, a little bit more standardized, which I think maybe next time you can come on, you can talk about that.
Sure.
If you would, bring some of you talked about some other people I
Yeah,
know well.
I love that.
Bring them in, maybe we'll do an hour show or something like that.
Okay.
I really appreciate your time. If someone wants to reach out to you, can they do that?
Yeah, I mean, they can reach out to my office. My number is 352-754-4287, and my assistant's name is Susan.
Susan. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. But we'll come down and take a look at you someday, too.
Excellent.
Okay. Hey, listen, we're time to go. I'll tell you every week, thank you for your service, and God bless America, everybody. Thank you, Adam.
You're welcome. Thank you, gentlemen, very, very much. That for Veterans News, AM Ocala Live's back after this.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. President Trump expected to fire a shot in his feud with Twitter after it fact-checked 2 of his tweets.
The president will sign an executive order today designed to roll back protections that safeguard social media companies from legal action for the content they allow. The president has long argued social media platforms are biased against conservatives.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland, Twitter CEO, says his company's committed to fact-checking information related to